Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Smite World Championship week number 4, the European side of things taking place right now. We just watched Bloodytech versus Superbia. Bloodytech ended up winning completely, unequivocally. That was just a beautiful win for them, and they played so well. And the credit goes to Superbia as well for how they ended up playing. But it goes to show how much the draft can affect the game. And realistically, the draft was on the side of Bloodytech last time. We're actually watching Bloodytech yet again. And this is actually a very significant match we're about to watch here. It's going to be Worth versus Bloodytech. Now, Bloodytech is looking very sharp today. We watched that in the last match. Worth is also looking sharp. They went to the grand finals last week against TSM, but their support player, Princess Tomato, is not going to be playing today for Worth, and so that is going to be something we have to keep an eye on.
It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he can fit straight into the team. I believe his name's Emilowichin. That's really tough to say.
He didn't. That's not his name in game. So luckily for you.
Oh, it's not. Okay, right. Well, that makes sense.
You just call him Emil.
You always like, I'm not going to struggle with that one. Trying to say that over again. But we are into Champ Select, so it's going to be interesting to see how Bloodytech and Worth play out here. And the instant Ulban, are you surprised?
No, yes and no. Now, honestly, right now, that Ulban is just for Shaggy Shank. You can't let this guy have Ul in the current state. I mean, Ul is just very strong. No, he's not overpowered, but he's strong. He's a good character. Put in the hands of Shaggy Shank, it's too much. You cannot let him have it. They're going to ban it out immediately. There goes the Odin ban in response to Worth. Now back over to Bloodytech. They're going to be banning out Scylla here. This is going to be more for Corneo. Do not want him to have that character either. We saw last week TSM pushing into the base, trying to finish off the Titan. Corneo gets a triple kill under the Titan. Oh. Can't let it have. So this is, I mean, it looks like a normal draft, but realistically, these are half good bans, half respect bans for Worth. Yeah. You can't let Corneo get Scylla. You can't let Shaggy Shank have Ul. It's exactly what Bloodytech is doing here.
Well, Aphrodite is the last ban, so that means Sun Wukong is available, as is Poseidon, who is a big top pick at the moment. And Sun Wukong going to be hovered over here by Clueless. Moex. I really wish they didn't put Clueless in the name because it's distracting me now. They're just Moex and Frezzy to me.
That's right.
I keep saying Clueless, and they're both Clueless. But anyway, Moex is going to lock in that Sun Wukong. Not to be surprised to see that one locked in. I mean, probably the best support warrior in the game right now.
Sure. Sun Wukong, a top pick there. Now back over to the Worth. They have Hoonbots available if they want to go for it. We saw him being first picked last game if they want to take that road. Looks like Roz hovered on here. I imagine they locked this in, actually, with Aphrodite gone, Scylla gone. Roz actually a pretty strong pick here. Hoonbots is picked and locked immediately. Ra gets locked in as well. Across the way, Bloodytech is making some choices. Chalk is hovered on. A little bit different now. Chalk can mid, he can jungle, and he can solo. I'm curious to see where they're going to put him.
Did a lot pretty quick there. I mean, we saw him in mid lane yesterday, enjoying North America as well. He did a great job there. So we'll see if they do choose to do that. But I mean, like you said, he can go jungle, he can go solo lane. Him against Chuck versus Ra is generally okay for Chuck in that lane. He will get pushed early game, but with the help of his jungler, he should be okay. And Artemis being locked in by Bloodytech there. Right. And the interesting thing about that, I was quite surprised by that. Being picked up. Sorry, Moex's Artemis is really, really strong. But with these Ulban, we know that Shaggy Shen can play a great Neath. We saw that last week as well. So he could just go for his safe pick of Neath here, or expect to see it possibly banned away from him during the next banning phase if they don't choose to pick it here.
I imagine they would. I mean, honestly, looking at the lineup here, obviously you're going to ban against Shaggy Shank or you're going to ban against Corneo. Ninja Bobat is a strong player. In fact, he plays Hoonbots exclusively. It's not surprised to see them pick him up so much. That's his best jungle character, so they're going to grab that. Looks like they're going to go for a character for Corneo here, so they're going to pick up Agni, going in the mid lane. Agni going up against, not decided just yet. Fex is a chorus, but they haven't picked a god for him just yet. Now they're going to be bans coming out here from Worth. Bloodytech, I'd imagine they want to go for a Neath ban here, considering that mid is picked, jungle is picked, and they have Ra. There's not much else to select from here. Now, support as what's left. Geb is always a strong pick. They could ban that out. But, given the fact that ML is a stand-in here, they may actually want to go and ban support, trying to limit him in any way possible. It's going to be a tier ban here across the way, more likely for Dover this time around, preventing him from picking that up. But we do know he likes to play Fender, as we saw in the last match. So the Geb ban will be coming out. They're going to try and just apply the wrench to that sub in from Emil and see if that's going to be enough for them.
How deep is his champion pool? Yeah, how deep does his god pool go overall? That's what they're going to try and find out with that Geb one. Surprised by the tier one. I mean, tier's a great ban overall, but I expected maybe looking at doing the Poseidon ban because Poseidon's still on the table again, and we know how good Poseidon can be with those rotations during the early stages and the pressure he can apply throughout all stages of the game. But at the moment, they're going to ban away the tier, and Apollo is being hovered over here now by
Apollo!
Elmsy.
So no Neath. Interesting.
Time for the Apollo pick as Shaggy Shank this game, so we'll see how that's going to play out. Apollo versus Artemis.
Now, honestly, Neath is like we've mentioned before, one of the best boxers in the lane against the hunters with the attack speed slow, the heal, good clear, and one of the safest clears as well. Neath is very good under tower up against someone like Moex. Now, Moex and Shaggy Shank, both very strong hunter players, very underrated for the fact that they're not world renowned across the. Is Bastet not picked?
We forget about Bastet all this time.
Is Bastet not picked?
She's not been picked or banned all the way through.
How is Okay, so
last game she wasn't banned
Bastet.
either, so.
Bastet.
We're gonna go
Hell.
Raw. I expect that to be.
Interesting.
Which means
Really
we'll see
interesting.
Chalk mid.
Now, there is some decent CC coming out here that could be cleansed. They have a lot of movement speed and heals, but, maybe... Now, actually, this isn't too surprising. Sosaj does like Aphrodite. Sosaj does play Hell, and so, with Aphrodite gone, Sosaj is just going to go straight for Hell and see if it works out. Variety, the last to select here for Worth. They have Ra, Hoombots, Agni, Apollo. They need a good support to round it out. Geb being gone, it depends on what Emma wants. Guan Yu is an easy choice for them. They're going to be selecting that one and probably just sending it right over. So, honestly, both drafts went pretty well here for both these teams. I would say Worth's lineup is a little bit better, just a little more stable, I should say. But Bloodytech's lineup has more chance to take off early. Worth is very stable. Bloodytech has Artemis, Hell, and Bastet. These characters are very, very good if they get some momentum behind them. Hell especially, very highly momentum-based character. If Bastet gets ahead too much early, it's hard for jungles to be able to deal with her. But Humbots is pretty decent at dealing with Bastet in general. So, I'm curious to see how this is going to work out. It's not that big of a skew.
Well, it's going to be Chuck in mid lane. Fexaz has actually picked that one, so he's going to be in the mid lane for Bloodytech. Now, the interesting combination I can see there is that Fexaz can use his ultimate to make sure he lands the silence on Agni before he can sprint away. Then you can see Dover jumping over the wall with the cats to just apply the pressure and look for the pickups onto Agni during that silence time. So that's a nice little combination there overall. Worth Gaming had two choices going into this with a support role substituted this game with Princess Tomato not being available. They could have gone for the first pick of a support to make sure he got the role he was comfortable with, or leave him to last pick to allow them to be able to look at the whole team and give him the option of what he thinks would be best for him in the situation against this team. So both choices are both viable, and it was interesting to see they left him till last and that he's gone for the Guan Yu pick here. And I think Guan Yu is probably the best one under these circumstances to pick up. It'll be good to see this on paper, though. I mean, this is going to be a close game.
Well, as far as support goes, there's some selections that are kind of like after the top goes, right? Odin and Sun Wukong being removed immediately. Then you think about Guan Yu, you think about Geb, you think about Bacchus, and that's about it. We've seen some Emirs, we've seen some Athenas, but beyond that, it's really that selection there. So Guan Yu an easy choice for them. As the lineup goes right now, I'm not really, I'm pretty happy with the lineup here for both teams. I think this is going to prove to be a very, very strong game. I think if you're looking at this and you're a betting person, you got to be able to keep your eyes on Bloodytech early and see what they do with the kind of, snowball potential that they have going forward. Chalk mid is very, very strong, as Captain Twig has proven time and time again. And you do bring up a good point with the way that you can silence Agni and hopefully get some cats in there and get the damage out as they need. Artemis, also a very snowbally type character. If she is safe enough in the lane, that's one of her only weaknesses, that she gets bullied too much. But if she is able to get protected and position herself smartly and intelligently, which we know Moex can, she can be a wrecking force mid and late, and we're going to see if they can pull it out here. We're going to cut to a brief break, and we'll be right back with Worth versus Bloodytech in the quarterfinals. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to the start of the quarterfinals. Bloodytech EU versus Worth are coming out strong today. See who can make it into the semifinal round. Let's cover who's playing what, where they're going for what team. The bottom side of that, the blue team, the green grass defenders of the Titans of Order. We're going to see Bloodytech victors of the last match. Clueless Frezzy is going to be playing Sun Wukong in that support role. We do see Fexez on mid, Chalk Dover in the jungle with Bastet, Clueless Moex on Artemis, supported by Frezzy, of course, and in the solo lane, Sosaj playing Hell for victory.
And on the other side, Worth Gaming, last week's MVP in EU, Shaggy Shank playing Apollo. Elms is going to be his support today, playing Guan Yu. Ninja Bobat, or as he should be named, Ninja Boat, on that Humbats once again. Carino on Agni in the mid lane, and finally, finally, overall Variety on Ra in the solo lane.
Look at the starting itemization here, nothing really too surprising. You see both mages on the right side, Worth both going for the same thing. We have Vampire Shroud right into the tiny trinket. Going to be scaling that up into really anything they want later. We're going to see the start here for Bloodytech, a lot of Death's Toll. Spectez going mid with Chalk and go for Death Toll. Boots, no Hog though, going mid without any Hog, so relying on that Thunder Strike Torrent combination to clear it out. And of course, it is quite reliable, not really needing anything else beyond that. Clueless Fresley on support. Senu Kong's going for Death's Toll here. Ended up going for 2 wards and 5 multi-potions to start. That means, I mean, if you're picking up multi-potions, you're planning to be aggressive. You want to make sure that the HP and mana are both being expended so you get the most out of those potions.
Exactly. As a support player, being able to poke down and regen back up and not have to leave lane is very important. Frezzy looking to go aggressive and try and force the blue buff to be taken quickly, and it was. But Moek's going to be the first to lane against Shaggy Shank, so the pressure is on for them. Hopefully they can push it back, but Elmsy's a little bit low already at the start. It takes a bit of poke there already, and the trade does not go favourably for Worth. Elmsy's in trouble already. The Hail of Hours goes down. I could see that one coming before it even started. Elmsy, did not do great, unfortunately. Have a little look at this replay, Drybear. Talk us through it.
Now we're bringing it up on screen here to see exactly how much damage he took. He can come out from it. We see support taking too much damage. We can see him coming through the wave. He actually ticked on one of the gods, taking minion damage in the start. But look at the lineup here. Didn't even beeline towards the tower, trying to avoid the stun, but just could not get it there. The damage output was too much. And honestly, if you're really careful early on, that's one of the biggest mistakes of experienced supports is that they think they're invincible. They think they can just do whatever they want, and they certainly cannot. You need to be very that, and we ticked once with the Tower Assault onto one of the enemy gods. All of a sudden the minions are hitting him, and it's just too much for him to handle. Hey guys,
now looking at the duo lane as well, what we did see while you were off camera, via Variety actually stole away the blue buff with the help of Hunbats in the jungle, so Worth have a lead in that lane overall. As you can see, level 3 on Ra, and already Hunbats Ninja Boat has already started going into his jungle to start clearing, so he's already ahead of the curve in terms of rotations in this game. He's already on the rampage looking for kills.
I'm looking to see how Shaggy Shank is going to react to this. Honestly, in this situation, he would be better off with Neath versus Apollo in the laning phase anyway, as Neath would be very, very safe in clearing the wave back and forth, even with the support going down so quickly. Now, with the kill going to Moex, it's actually been hurting them a lot. That's going to be something they have to be worrying about. In the mid lane, we see actually Chalk playing quite well, keeping up with the push potential of Corneo. Corneo is playing quite safe. He's been dashing backwards to the wave, and that's pretty much all he's been doing. Just make sure that it's clean and clear every so often, not really worrying about the rotations from jungle, kind of just playing it safe.
Yeah, the dash at the start of the game is generally used by Carino just to make sure he clears the wave effectively and stays safe, but he's got to be careful because Fexes will keep throwing out those axes as much as possible.
Oh, looks like Exposed has, we update from one of our admins, like Exposed has ended up losing here. So look in the bracket, Exposed Secrets was in the second round. They actually had a bye. In fact, Exposed Secrets lost their first and only match of today's tournament. Exposed Secrets being seeded 7th, going up against Elo Fishers, seeded 10th, ended up losing in the first match and being eliminated immediately. Rest in peace.
Big surprise, Exposed Secrets were sat on 24 points coming into this one from the previous weeks. ELO Fishers only on 6, so it shows that ELO Fishers had not had a good performance before that and only just attended all the previous games. But really big win for ELO Fishers there. This just shows you how wide open this can be over on EU, and Exposed Secrets have their work cut out. But anyway, back to this game. Bloodytech with the advantage during the early stages with that first kill pickup on the support, who is currently a substitute for the Princess Tomato, who has been clearly taken away by Bowser this week. The princess is in another castle.
Princess in another castle, exactly. So, honestly, it's a good recovery so far by Worthy Guan Yu, played by Emil. Interesting. It looks like he's going to go for damage boots after the fact. He's doing Watcher's Gift into boots right away. I don't know if I agree with this one, especially given the fact that he died early and will be falling behind. Generally, the easiest way to come back as a Guardian is to, number one, pick up either minus boots to get the gold back, or pick up just boots in general and try to pick that up here. But he just wants the extra damage and maybe hope to play safe here. Mid camp on the left side is going to go to Worth. Right side looks like it's going to be going to Bloodytech as Ra makes his way out, looking for the steal. They're not going to find it. Mid is now a big battleground.
Yeah, for the time being, both teams surrounded the mid area, but Fexes, as well as the helpers Frezzy, are going to be able to just push that back as well. Those axes do so much damage to the minion wave during the early stages as well, so his wave clear is quite effective against someone like Agni, but it's a nice stun up from him onto Dover, who's going to have to watch his position in there. I don't think he expected so much to come out from just that one rain of fire.
We're going to see the right side. It looks like Sosa just having trouble here with Raw. Of course, keep in mind that Raw ended up stealing away one of the blue buffs from Sosaj, so not going to be able to pick that one up. And so that's a big hit to a solo laner, especially
really
Hell,
big.
who just can't have the mana to be able to keep up in that lane. Left side, I see some aggression coming out here, looking for some damage on Shaggy Shake. The sun might be coming through. Good serenade
Nice.
to slow him down. That
Perfectly timed.
is why he was MVP last week.
But that's also to do with sounds as well, Drybear. Some people don't realize that listening to the sounds of the game and understanding what they mean can make a big influence. If you can hear that transformation sound go off, it can preempt you for the incoming attack that's going to come. But meanwhile, the mid lane, Dover's looking to jump over the wall here. Carino could be in trouble. The aggression between the two. There's the stun coming out as well. The pressure being put on. There's the cat's popped as well. Carino's on his tower rage though, but there's the ultimate as well from Vexes. And that's a nice pick up in the mid lane, and that's the sort of combination we were trying to talk about during the picks and bans phase that can come out from a Choc and Bastet mid lane.
Well, that wasn't even the Choc. To be honest, that could have been any mage at all, considering the fact that Agni actually got his dash off. That's just Bastet damage, pure and simple right there. Bastet didn't even need to use the ultimate to clear that one out. Just the damage from the Razor Claws Ninetales combination, or D-Claw, Razor, whatever we're calling it nowadays. And then push it up to the tower, and then, of course, Choc with damage from range. Got Thunderstrike into the Torrent, and, of course, his ultimate Storm Calls, enough for them to go for it right here. Right side, we see Variety just completely conquering Hell here, pushing him back to his tower, taking huge amounts of hits. Blue buff has respawned. They're going to contest it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look for the contest. Ninja Bobat already in the area, circling, waiting for them to aggress here, and Variety in the position 2, 3v2 situation to start, but there's a Fear No Evil, and already everyone's dropped. That's a great snipe as well from Variety to pick up one. Ninja Bobat securing the other in a 3-for-2 situation. They did a great job, and that was ward coverage paying off for them, or at least realizing what was going on, and Frezzy's just going to have to back away from this.
Go ahead and right side, let's push back. The blue buff is doing down there. Big pickup for Worth. It was absolutely worth it. Looking at the gold charts right now, Worth's going to be ahead. 400 gold and 1800 experience. Not a whole lot, but certainly something that's going to be worthwhile for them. Pun intended. We see Choc takes pressure in the mid lane. Guan Yu and Agni going in on this one. Stun potential coming out from Agni. Now, one thing we should mention as well, in the next patch, Agni will be able to hit that stun a lot easier.
We'll be able to hit the stun easier, because obviously the cooldown just ever so slightly quicker, which is going to make him a bit more effective. But they did take away his immunity during sprint. Is that correct? Sorry, during his 3. I can't remember his name, man.
Path of
What is
Flames.
it called? There we go. But yeah, they've taken away the immunity from that, so the trade-off.
There's still knockback immunity on it. It's just no longer CC.
Yeah, so it's still a trade-off between the two, but overall, I think Agni should still be quite okay in that mid lane. So we'll probably see more Agnis coming out as well. It's nice to see him still being played as well. He's been around and about for quite a while now. But Ninja Bobat looking for a possibility on Moex, but look at that. Those two traps are just like, yeah, you can come over here, but you're going to have to use your leap. Otherwise, you're going to get trapped, and I'll just back away.
That's the power of Artemis right there. Good control. And honestly, even before when Artemis had the vision, she was just so great at preventing the rotations coming out towards her. And a good positioning makes Artemis all the more powerful. Look at the itemization here so far as our active items go. We see Purification Beats 2 on Bastet right now, and Hog 2 on Sunu Karn, just to clear the waves out as fast as possible, and of course look for some jungle camps if available. We saw the last match from Bloodytech, just like to run in the enemy jungle, steal away blue buffs, steal away movement speed buff, steal away damage buff, and try to slow down the enemy jungle farm, which right now is actually looking really good. Ninja Bobat has finished his Warrior Top E.
Yeah, he has. I mean, a quick look at the solo lane, though. Look at this, 3 levels ahead is Variety now over Sausage. He's really having a hard time in this lane, and that's just because of the denial of the blue buffs and the pressure they're applying to him. So Sausage is really in trouble this one, so we can see Dover trying to rotate over, but already there's a ward there. Variety throws out the light just to let him know that he knows he's in the air, and even connects too. So hard life for Sausage in that solo lane.
We're going to see Bastet running over here, looking for the mid initiation. Bobat's going to find him from behind. Oh, looks like going to go for the D-Claw there, forcing him away. Choc in the mid lane might be surrounded just a bit, but he does have that damage reduction. There goes the hit from the Thunderstrike. He's doing a lot of damage here to Bobat. Bobat, very, very squishy comparatively. It looks like with the penetration from Warrior Top E, Vexes is a threat.
Yeah, he really is. And one of the greatest things that Vexes has in that mid lane as Chuck is when he pops that ultimate, he does reduce the amount of damage taken, as well as he'll be able to silence to reduce the amount of damage the team can do as they try and put the pressure on him. So we'll see if Vexes can continue having a good time in mid lane overall. 0-0-1, top on his team for gold. Meanwhile, Carino, 600 gold behind him already in this game.
He's going to be hanging out on the right side of the mid. He's going to be heading back here. Always good to back out of line of vision so no information is given to the enemy team in both ways. We see Hog 3 being picked up by ML right off the bat. I like the decision here. He's going to go straight for Midas Boots as well. great choice by Emily. He looked like he wanted to go for the warrior top. He started with the boots and was heading toward that direction, but he realized, you know, I gave up first blood. I'm behind. I'm not doing too well. The least farm of my team by quite a noticeable amount. And so to pick up the -3 it's already helping his gold numbers, catching up quite a bit here to Cornio in the mid lane. And now, of course, going for the Hog 3. He's just trying to get that big recovery.
OX has actually been jumped up from behind. Fino Weaver gets popped. The ball comes out to try and defend for the most part. Tries to juke the best he can, but not to be. Shaggy Shanks to cause the kill. Frezzy rotating over very late to the party here. He's going to try and get the help of Fezex and Dover, who have also rotated over. Ninja Bobat does not have his Fino Evil available. Will be looking for the jump away, but he's taking a lot of damage already. There's a big stun coming out from Carino. Apollo comes in, does some nice damage, forcing Fexes away for the most part. Frezzy in the backline. Fex says he's going to be a casualty. Finally, Ra turns up to the fight as well, but this is going so well for Whiff right now. Sausage is doing work as well. Carino takes out Frezzy, and now the last member, Sausage. Oh, he takes up 2, and he's on board.
Dodges it!
Oh, that was so nice. Sausage could not get the triple. Nicely played by Carino to jump through using his 3, and that should be a Gold Fury for Whiff.
Wow, what a good dodge there by Corn. You're dashing through as hell. Had the hit coming out right off that. Beautiful play, and Shaggy Shank played that perfectly. He committed hard inside of the raw heal. Let's go ahead and watch this on screen, see exactly how he played that out. Jumping on top of the chalk, he's going to get silenced the second he lands, looking for the damage on Fexes, but he commits. He knows his team's behind him, and he does not care about his positioning. The raw heal on the ground, he's going to stand inside of it and just backpedal, throwing damage on top of damage on top of damage. Throws out the dash, the slow on top, looking for the damage here on Hell, and look at the hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming out here, looking for another one, missed the 7th. There's the 8th. There's the so beautiful, and one more shot will do it. You can see the dodge from Cornu, making sure he does not get bursted out. So 1 kill from Sausage, but that just was not enough to turn the fight back around. Worth not only gets a big rotation there, but they're also going to get Gold Fury, a lot of gold in their favor. They're almost at 3,000 with 2,700 gold in their favor and 5,100 experience. They're looking good.
Yeah, 5,100 experience, a big factor in that one as well. It worked out so well for Whiff because this game was sort of balanced on a knife edge there, but great play from Whiff. Game and the rotations were fantastic, and now it's Bloodytech's turn to be on the back foot. We can see Frezzy trying to go aggressive, but Ninja Bobat is on the case, immediately spotted by that ward, so the bird comes out. And Elmsy doing a good job of actually clearing the ward out at the back here to make sure that they're trying to limit the vision that Bloodytech have. One thing we don't see as much are those sentry wards, Dryber. It's nice to see them again.
Yeah, a ton of vision coming out here on either side, and we do see, you know, both teams committing heavily, and I like that. I like the fact that they're able to commit their vision early on. We know Guan Yu is putting a lot of effort to it. 2 wards and Sentry Ward in his inventory. Across the way, Chalk has finished off Weakening Curse here. I like this choice. Going to be slowing down the heal from Guan Yu and Ra, as well as being able to slow down characters like Apollo and Hoonbots. Even Agni after the dash to be able to get some kills early on, like the rush from Fexes. Beautiful, beautiful play. You know, looks like Soul's just going to be going for Chronos Pendant rush here. And one thing I do have concerns about, as we do see a rotation in the mid lane looking for damage on Fexheads. He's quite tanky. I don't see them taking this kill. Oh, the damage from Cornio. Huge hit there. But one thing I do have concerns about, Hindu Man, is the way that, you know, there was a momentum-based team on Bloodytech. They don't have the stability that Worth does in the lineup. As you see Hell going down the right side here, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Hell was supposed to be their guiding light, and he's not hitting home as well as I thought he would.
Now, the pressure that he's had during the early stages really caused some issues. Dover's going to rotate over, just try and defend the tower to the best of his ability. However, what happened with the early game buff being taken? It's really caused issue. Mid lane, though, there's aggression again as the Rain of Fire comes out again. The cavalry charge as well. Fex says has to use the ultimate to get out of that situation to help him out. He was really in trouble there and actually has to use it. But here comes Apollo looking for the kill. Shaggy Shank, my MVP last week, doesn't land it, but Ninja Bobat does, and now Frezzy's going to run for his life, but the whole team of Whiff rotating to mid lane, going to look to pressure down this tower. Dover's going to try and defend. Not a lot he can do against 5 members, though, so another tower in favour of Whiff Gaming.
The rotation from Artemis was just too slow. One of the biggest benefits of having Apollo is you can rotate across the map with that across the sky so quickly, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, obviously, you can just jump up there and fly across, joining in the fight. You know, Bloodytech is looking very good this week. Obviously, last match, they've been playing very well. They drafted in an interesting manner. And honestly, I think this is the biggest thing that they have to improve on is just being able to synergize well with what they picked. And so far, they haven't been capitalizing on it so much. I mean, they have a very slow team, but a team that works well together. Hell and Chalk, very slow-moving characters. Artemis as well. If they can get together quickly, they can fight well. The problem is Worth understands that. They know that Artemis is going to be slow. They know that Chalk is going to be slow. They know that Hell's going to be slow. And the problem is, they're all in different lanes. Chalk's mid, Artemis is left, Hell is right. They rotate slowly. They're very slow-moving characters. And so Worth says, you know what? if we act swiftly, if we rotate fast, and we fight before they get there, we're going to win every single time.
Exactly, and take into account Sausage is the only magical damage god on their team as well.
Yes.
And with him being behind, it just means all the focus can be put into armor for the time being, because Sausage cannot get himself involved in these fights for the time being. He's having a hard time in his lane. And I think if Bloodytech want to run this comp again, I think the composition's very good. I just feel they need to give more protection to the solo laner during the early stages. Make sure he gets those blue buffs, because he's the only magic damage once again.
Exactly right. Gold Fury about to respawn here pretty shortly. Just about a minute and 20 seconds left until that one comes right back up. Right tower is down. Mid tower is down in favor of Worth. And they're waiting for the next big fight to come out here. Looking at the charts, we're going to see a 4,500 gold and 8,500 experience lead for Worth so far. Bloodytech is now being put to pressure here. They're backed up against the wall, and Worth is now asking them to answer, and I don't know if they have a good response to this. Gold Fury is going to be the next point of contention for both these teams, and Bloodytech has to get it. So, Saj.
What? Oh, it looks like a lag out that one by some. I'm guessing if he died to the archer minions, doesn't seem.
Yeah,
right,
like
doesn't
he
even
just
pick up a kill. Right, had
wandered
full
over
mana.
there
Yeah.
and ended up being taken out by the wall.
As we got
Pause
DC,
coming
yeah.
out from Bloodytech. Looks like they want to make sure he gets back in, but that now him lagging out is not the worst thing in the world, but him lagging out and dying to minions, that is going to hurt them a lot.
It is for the time being. I mean, respect to Variety, though, for not actually taking the kill there, because that's one temptation that you do always get. And I know he was definitely in the area as well, so whether he saw it or not is to be seen. But at the moment, yep, Sausage has DC'd. I mean, when we look at these two teams right now, one thing I want to point out as well, Drybo, is that, you know, with the inclusion of Emilzy, he's done a good job so far. He's had 5 assists. He did have a bad start to the game overall, but he's come back strong, and he's working well with his team. So he's fitting in nicely to Worth Gaming. And, you know, with the team speakers, you know, with the communication side of it as well being interesting, it's good to see that he's fitting in nicely with the communication and the rotations.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's been playing so well, and I think the biggest thing about this is the Gold Fury is about to respawn, and Hell is now down for 22 seconds. Look, the unpause to come out here without him reconnecting. I'm not sure why this is happening. Left side is just coming up. Look for the Artemis. Artemis bursting him, coming up. Take him out immediately. Now looking for Frezzy, but he's calling to disengage with Hell down. Artemis going down as well. All grouping up for the Gold Fury. Gold Fury is respawn. This is going to be a free Worth Gold Fury.
Yeah, especially with Hal being down as well due to the Archer minions. No rotation going to be able to come out. Raw can continue pushing the solo lane, forcing 2 members to kind of deal with Raw, who's going to be able to split push quite happily over there. Nice pickup from Worth Gaming, just exploiting wherever possible and get as many objectives as possible.
That Gold Fury was clean and clear and under control at that point, and that's not really anything Bloodytech can do about it. The gold is skewing very much in favor of Worth right now. The gold is in their favor. The experience is in their favor. And they have the map control as well. And that's going to be so hard for Bloodytech to deal with, as Sosage has yet to reconnect. Chalk in trouble here. Uses the Torn to get away, but they predicted it perfectly. There's a jump. Burst damage coming out from Corneo. He's going to be able to take out Vexus. Vexus going down here. We have Disjoint respawns. Artemis just came back, and Chalk just went down. Another pause coming out here from Bloodytech. It's going to be their second pause of the game to see if Sausage can get back into the match, but this is just so unfortunate. Whew. Now, keep in mind, Bloodytech was behind prior to this, so this wasn't a game-breaking thing. But at the same time, they have to be very, very careful. And I'm a little curious as to why they unpaused before he got back. Their time limit wasn't up yet.
For me, what could have possibly happened was he connected back to the game and said, "Okay, guys, I'm coming back in. You can unpause because of the timer ticking down." See, I've got the camera up and I can see him doing this while we touch him.
Oh, you're so close. To the right, to the right, to the right. Bring it back. Bring it back. Straight back towards you. Oh, a little more. Huh? Yeah. No, just peck.
Who am I touching?
Oh, you're touching Raw. You're like, oh, wait, hold on. Can we? Okay. Anyways, guys, welcome to Bloodytech versus Worth Gaming. There's a pause coming out here. Sausage has disconnected the solo lane player for them for Bloodytech here, and we're waiting for him to get back in the match. 11-4 is the score we're at right now. The gold is very much in favor of Worth as well as the experience. We're going to see how this works out. The pause has come off here. Sausage has returned, but it doesn't change the fact that they are currently sitting 8,300 gold behind.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Worth Gaming are doing the right thing in the situation. This is a competition after all, and everybody understands.
They're going for Fire Giant.
This is a great call from them because look at the left-hand lane. Frezzy and Moex both over there. It's going to take them a long time to get over, and this is going to drop before anyone can get here. Can they even look at contesting? No, they cannot. Worth Gaming with a 16-minute Fire Giant abusing where possible. Here's Frezzy running into trouble as the damage comes out for Variety, zoning him back immediately. You can see the Fire Giant's on Searing Pain. does miss onto Frezzy. He was looking for the cheeky snipe there, see how much damage he could do. But now Worth Gaming in full control of this game.
See, that decision right there is why I have so much faith in Worth and why they are proving themselves to be one of the top tier teams right now. That is such a small, infinitesimal idea, right? You have 3 people from Bloodytech on the left side of the map, the Fire Giant's available, and they jumped on it instantly. They know that Apollo can rotate, he's the only one on the side of the map, they can get there, and by the time those 3 players on the left side of the map will make it to the Fire Giant, it will already be done, and that kind of decision right there, to be able to make the decision, execute on it, and finish it, and get out quickly is indicative of a high-level team.
Yeah, and it's a big shout out to whoever their shot caller is. I'm not sure who the shot caller is on the team, but that was a great call to make, and it's a big influence, like you said, on them becoming a top-tier team that we're going to see week in, week out, reaching these later stages of games. So Bloodytech, now on the back foot, have not had the best of games, including the DCs as well. Excluding them, they still struggled, had a great start to this game, but now it's all in Worth's favour. Looking to the push down mid lane, obviously with this blessing coming out as well to help sustain as they push down this tower. Those minions are going to be able to survive a little bit longer, and that mid tower should drop as well, so yet another tower down, only the left-hand side left. Moex and Frezzy have to be careful here.
Looking for it. Oh, this Guan Yu's been looking for Sun Wukong here. Stuns early. There's the bomb. Good bomb again. Flame Wave. Path of Flames. That's going to be it. And Frezzy goes down. Without Sun Wukong, there's no one to protect this tower. This is going to be going for free.
Yep, the whole of Bloody not able to really get in a position. They're all just going to group up at this next tier tower, try and defend this one. Hopefully, Moex can get back here in time to help out. But no, Bastet is actually rotating to mid lane. They're going to give up this left one as well and just have the Phoenixes left to defend. It's getting nasty for Bloodytech now. This is the second week in a row where they've had to fight with, and they're having the worst time of it. The matchup between Moex and Shaggy Shenk is the one I've been wanting to watch again because I think it's really close between these two. But Worth Gaming on the pressure. The Fear No Evil comes out onto 2 members. A lot of trouble. The Pounce comes out to defend. Moex might secure that kill. The Phoenix will secure it for him. And now as well, Fezex is in trouble. He's going to drop as well. Variety getting another kill for himself. Here comes Hell, though, on the back line. So Wukong on his cloud. They're just going to disengage because the Phoenix has gone down. But that was a 1-for-1, but being trade for the Phoenix. Definitely in favor of Worth.
Phoenix going down there. They also got a kill on Chalk. It was 1-for-1, but the other Phoenix is exactly right. It's across the way from the Fire Giant. They still have the Fire Giant buff for just about 2 minutes now. Going to be holding on to that for as long as they can, but they're getting a little greedy here on the Bloodytech side, trying to see if they can't pick a free pick here, but they're all at full HP thanks to the Ra and the Guan Yu support. Look at the heal numbers, actually, to see how that is working for them. We see 11.6k healing done by Ra, 4,200 by Guan Yu. Look across the way, and Hell has only done 2,700. So Guan Yu has out-healed the Hell in this situation. So total, we do see over 15,000 healing done.
It's just because she's
so good.
So far behind the sausage, that's the biggest issue. Like,
well,
he's
also
not been able to leave
ruin.
lane. Yeah, but he's also not been able to leave lane as well, and try and get involved with his team to throw out those heals for it. Where Variety kind of has had full control of that lane since that very early steal on the blue buff at level 2, and then the continuation of that when it respawned again. So Worth did a great job of realizing that Hell was the focused target for this game to an extent. And the rest of Worth Gaming have just performed so well with the rotations. They're looking so good once again this week.
They really are, and they're showing off their colors right now, and their colors are flying. Look at the itemization. I mean, look at the active item commitment here from Worth. We see everyone but 2 have finished active items. Ninja Bobat has tier 1 Hand of the Gods, and of course Cornu is just leaning on his Greater Purification. But because he skipped a second active item, he was able to finish off Rada to Hootie here very early on with the pen from the boots, the Bancroft's talent with hard damage, and the scaling from the Rada to Hootie. As soon as he gets 1 more penetration item, he is going to be hitting like the massive truck that he wants to, and Bloodytech really has to be wary of it. I mean, honestly, the distance between the 2 teams right now is so hard to deal with because when you cross that 10k threshold, 14,000 gold now in favor of Worth, you have to make this decision, right? Because you need core items, you need defense, and you need damage. Now, you don't want to die to the enemy team because they're so far ahead, and so you want to buy defense, but if you buy too much defense, you're never going to get a kill. You need to have some kind of damage. But if you can't commit fully to damage, people like Cornu, people like Ninja Bobat, people like Shaggy Shank are going to kill you in 1 or 2 shots. And so you have to find this balance, but you just don't have enough gold to hit it right, and so you have to make a lot of hard decisions from Bloodytech. You see them picking up the active items that they need. So far, it's just not hitting it.
They're sharing XP and gold in their own jungle now and these lanes because they can't push out of the base because, like you said, they're scared of being picked off. And this is the issue that they have because they're trying to catch up, but everybody wants the gold, everybody wants the XP to get themselves going. And it's a real issue for them because obviously it slows them all down because they're sharing all that XP in the same lane or the same jungle camps. Anyway, Fire Giant has respawned now. I really wish someone would have pushed out left a lot harder than they did, because this is a really nice play from Wirth, and Bloodytech are going to have to keep an eye on that minion wave on the left-hand side. But meanwhile, they're going to try and contest this Fire Giant, and this is a good play by Wirth, not starting it, looking for the aggression.
Forces the Nukong right before the Fire Giant. That's a huge, that's bigger than I'm sure most people realize in chat. Big pickup. Left lane's pushing up. That's 2 full fire waves going right into the Titan here. Gonna take a lot of damage from this. The ping coming out here. Will they go back? Hell's going to return home. There's no Seneca ultimate. There's no Hell around. The Fire Giant looks like he's going to go for free again.
Yep, Fire Giant looks like he's going to go free. A little good to aggress, though, here at the moment. We're doing a good job of zoning with Variety and Elmsy. And already you can see Ninja Bobat on the back line actually going to start up that Fire Giant. Good decision from them. Meanwhile, though, Apollo off on that left-hand lane. I love the decision from Shaggy Shank here. Keep split from the team. Keep pushing that left-hand lane in and then rotate over if required, using that across the sky. So, Fire Giant is going down. Wirth does pick it up. Frezzy tried his best and now he's in trouble.
Looking for an initiation to hit President, looking down, going to go down here to Ninja Bobat. Now looking at Dober's going to find Corneo. Double kill for Ninja Bobat, gets on Artemis. That's a lot of their damage already. Looking for the follow-up here on the best set. Apollo taking from the cats are on the ground. Ninja Bobat's going to follow up here. The stun's not going to land, but they're looking for the hit. Sprint activation. Dober, he's got nowhere to go. We do see Hell getting on a dodge, but at what cost to the Fire Giant? And 3 kills for 1. We do see Corneo going down, but do they actually need him right now? The Fire Giant buff plus the heal from Guan Yu and Ra will keep all 4 members alive here. The mid Phoenix is under pressure. The left Phoenix is weakened. They're going to go straight there, I would imagine. And look at them rushing right over to finish off this very weak Phoenix on the left side. 2 Phoenixes down. The Titan is exposed.
5 minutes left as well. Full fire minion wave on the left-hand side. They're looking for aggression onto Sosage, who's going to drop very, very quickly to the whole team. Now the Titan is under attack once again. Can Bloodytech make a stand? They're doing the best to do so, but will it be enough as Frezzy tries to keep them off it? The Hog's coming down as well. The Titan still stands for the time being, but retreating for the saving, for the blessing. Coming out for the heals for the most part, but those fire minions still in the base. Another wave is on the left-hand side as well. Nice decision from Wirth, though. Not going to take the risk of possibly throwing all their lives away, trying to take the Titan down. So they can just recall, group up again, look to push down right-hand lane, and look to close this one out against Bloodytech.
We do see some people kind of coming out here and trying these tournaments. We know that these are some of the best teams we've seen in Europe, as far as the mid brackets go. I mean, this is 4th and 5th seed going head to head here today. We just see a lot of people in chat. I do ask you guys to be respectful of the players that are coming out and putting themselves on the line for the tournament today. Definitely a very, very, very strong performance between the two, but I think Wirth is really looking to elevate themselves to the next level and ascend to the top 4 or even the top 2 at this point. We do know that they've been kind of escalating themselves, especially last week. We do know that they ended up going to the grand finals up against TSM, taking a game off them with Ares no less. So Wirth is definitely top tier, and they're looking to show it off today. 2 Phoenixes down, the Titan at half HP. How's it going to end?
I mean, to add to that as well, I mean, we're going to see the aggression coming out looking for the Phoenix again, but Bloodytech were my pick for 3rd place this week, 3rd or 2nd even. I expect them to come out strong, but here's the aggression again. Wirth gaming with a great backline initiation with the cavalry charge from MLZ. He's done a good job of stepping in for Princess Tomato, who's not here today. Sun Wukong's on his cloud. 2 kills drop already. Sausage is a 2nd casualty once again. And now the team trying to back out to the best of their ability. Frezzy having to use the transformations to retreat from there. Phoenix going to drop. That's all 3 Phoenixes down. And the fire minion is pushing in middle and left. This should be game. This should be Wirth gaming. Moving on to the next round. Great performance for them. Commiserations to Bloodytech, but they did put on a great first game for us in that game there. Early stages, it looks a bit shaky from Wirth gaming.
It really does. I mean, 19-6 versus Bloodytech. They had a fantastic performance. They're 18,000 gold in the lead after 25 minutes, and I think they really brought everything together. 14 assists on both Ra and Guan Yu across the board. Looking at the final numbers for healing and how it ended up here, we're going to see 7,300 healing done by Ra, 3,200 by Guan Yu. Across the way, Hell had a measly 2,300, but of course that does not only combine with the fact that Hell had a tough laning phase, but also had the Divine Ruin across the way on Ra, preventing that heal from scaling up. I think that Wirth is really understanding the pieces that make the puzzle across the board. We do know immediately they see that Hell, Artemis, and Bastet, all very momentum-based characters, and they took that out from under them, swept their legs from the very beginning. We saw the blue buff being stolen away from Hell. That is detrimental. There's a few characters in the game that really rely on that blue buff early. Shibalonki in the long lane, if you take that away from him, he is just so very limited without that blue buff. Hell in the soul lane, very, very strong as well. Very, very hard, and so very hard to be able to deal with that. And honestly, You know, I think this really bodes well for Worth going forward after last week's performance going up against TSM, showing themselves off. And, you know, there are some small things you have to look at to see, you know, is a team doing well? And it's not, you know, if they get the kills, it's not if they get triple quadras, it's not their team fights, it's their understanding the game and how it fits together. And Worth is showing that off here. The picking phase for them is going very smart. They're getting some good counter picks, some good bans. They're putting their team comps together well, and they're also reacting and picking out the pieces. When I saw them go for Fire Giant in that split second when Bloodytech wasn't ready,
call.
that is top tier right there.
It really is. And a big shout out to Elmsy as well, because he stepped into the role of for Princess Tomato this week as well, having to fit into a new team so quickly. And a lot of people were like, no Princess Tomato? Will Worth be good this week? We'll have to find out, you know, with Elmsy stepping in. But he stepped up to the plate and did really, really well. Early game, you know, he had those early game jitters, which you can understand, especially playing for a team like Worth, who were, you know, the talk of the town at the moment on EU. So he's done a good job of coming back, and I really love the item choices that the team picked up in terms of the Weakening Curse as well as the Divine Ruin to make sure that the one magic dealer was not doing heals at all during that game wherever possible. So really nicely played from them. So we're going into the next game soon, I believe, Driver. It's going to be TSM, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. But we're going to cut to a brief break first. We're going to look the players into the match and getting ready to go. We're going to have SK versus TSM coming up next.
This will be big.
Worth will be moving on into the bracket to see how they fare. And honestly, I'm excited to see how the rest of the tournament goes here. We see C9 is going to be facing off against Elo Fishers in this round of elimination. Elo Fishers, of course, defeating Exposed Secrets. And, of course, we have TSM versus SK coming up next. Worth will defeat Bloodytech, moving on to semifinals to see whoever wins the TSM versus SK game. And Agilitas looks like they're going to be surrendering as I5. I5 will be moving on into the semifinal round to see the results of C9 versus Elo Fishers. We could see some very, very strong blood feud matchups here going forward. But up next will be TSM versus the one and the only SK Gaming. We'll see how they fare against each other. We'll come to a brief break, and we'll see you very soon.